Good morning, everyone. So today, what we are going to see is the logic for the program multiplication by shift and add. So we have already seen the logic for multiplication between two numbers by repeated addition. But as the size of the numbers increases, that is, when the size of the numbers becomes more than 8 bits, it would be really tedious to implement the logic of repeated addition. Okay. So this is a common logic, for multiplication between two numbers, irrespective of their sizes. That means this logic can be extended, can be used for 4 by 4 multiplication, 8 by 8, 16 by 16, 32 by 32, 64 by 64, and so on. So the name itself implies the program mainly focuses on shifting and adding. For example, when I multiply between two numbers 9 into 10, I should get the result as 90. The equivalent binary for this is 164, 64, no 32 plus 16, so 80, 80 plus 8, 88, no 4, 9, 80, 88 plus 2, 90, 0. So 1, 2, 4, 8. So 2 plus 8, 10 plus 16, 26. 32, it's not there, 64, 90. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I will put a 0 also in between. This is the result we should get. So what you have to understand is when we are multiplying between two 4 by 4 numbers, the maximum result which we are going to get will be 8 bits. Maximum, that's what I am telling. When it is going to be 8 by 8, it is going to be 16 bits. So double of the individual sizes, or double of the maximum size of maximum size of the numbers. So if it is 16 by 16, the result is going to be a maximum of 32 bits. So you could verify this for a 4 by 4 multiplication. If you are multiplying, the maximum number is f and f, which is 15 into 15 will be equal to 225. That is equal to 16 into 15 is 240. So 16 into 14, that will be equal to 160. So it will be equal to E1. So this is 8 bits. Similarly, when you are multiplying FF into FF, you will get something like FE01 and so on. So this is the maximum size which we are going to get. So you have to, whenever you are writing the program, you have to always keep in mind the maximum size of the result whatever you are going to get. So let us see how exactly are we going to do the multiplication. So let us take the same example, which is 9 by 10. So 9 is equal to 1001 multiplied by 1010. So a regular multiplication, let us do. So the first position is 0. So this becomes 0, 0, 0, 0. Then it is 1. So when you are multiplying this 1 with the multiplicand, so we can, the first term is the multiplicand and the second term is the multiplier. So when you multiply that 1 into this one, you will get 1, 0, 0, 1. Then when you multiply with 0, you will get 0, 0, 0, 0. Then again you are multiplying by 1, you will get 1, 0, 0, 1. And finally the result which you are going to get is 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. So you got 1011010, which is the result which we got. You get a, you will prefix with a 0. This is equal to 90. So this is the answer. The simple logic for the multiplication. What we are doing here is we are taking one bit of the multiplier at a time. If that bit is equal to 1, we will add the multiplicand to the result. If that bit equals 0, there is no addition. But after doing the addition or not, whether there is an addition or not, we will shift the multiplicand one bit to the left. So if you see, the first bit was 0. Okay, so then the result is 0 itself. There is no change with the result. So we can think like initially the result is 00008 bits. So that result remains the same. Then after doing this first bit, so we have this first bit is over. The multiplier, sorry, the multiplicand is shifted one bit to the left. So if you see that the new multiplicand is 10010, so one bit to the left. Then we will take the next bit, second bit, that bit equals 1. So we will add the shifted multiplicand with the result. So what is the shifted multiplicand? 0 1 0 0 1. That means the previous values are 0. So we will get the new result as 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 0. Then again the multiplicand is shifted by one bit to the left. So this one, when it comes, the multiplicand here becomes, this one will come here, and this one is there, one more bit to the left. Then we will take the next bit, it is 0. So there is no need to add with the result, but again the multiplicand will get shifted by one bit to the left. So again I am going to write. So after this operation, the value of the new multiplicand is 10010. Then after so this is after this one. Then after this one, the multiplicand is shifted again one bit to the left, so it becomes 10010. Then after that, this one, it again becomes the third shifting, 1001000. Then the fourth bit of the multiplier is taken, that is equal to 1. So this shifted multiplicand will be added to the result, which is 00010. So the result is going to be 01011010. And again, after doing this addition, again the multiplicand will be shifted by 1 units to the left. But again, now the bit shifting, all the bits of the multiplier has been taken into consideration. So we need not again do the addition. So the process will. So how many times we have to do this operation? That the size of the multiplier. So here the multiplier is 4 bits. So 4 times we have to take. We have to repeat this operation of shifting and adding. The adding part will come if and only if the multiplier bit, the corresponding multiplier bit is 1. If there is, irrespective of whether the multiplier bit is 1 or 0, you have to shift the multiplicand. So the again I am explaining the algorithm. The algorithm is like this. Initialize the result. Okay, initialize the result to the maximum. So here it is, if it is 4 by 4, you will have 8 bits, so which will be equal to 0 0. If it is 8 by 8 multiplication, you will have 16 bits allotted to 0, that is 2 bytes. You will initialize the result. Then take 1 bit of the multiplier at a time. Starting from LSB, lowest significant bit. So if that is equal to 1, add the shifted multiplicand with the result, with the current result, and this becomes the new result. After doing this operation, shift the multiplicand 1 bit to the left. So this operation, this has to be done even if the multiplier bit is not equal to 1, is equal to 0. So this operation has to be done irrespective of the value of the multiplicand bit, because that is shown in the example. How many times this has to be done? Repeat this process for all the multiplier bits. After you do that, the final value in the result becomes your final result. So the final value in the saved result will be your final result, will be our final result. So this is the logic. It is not very complicated. The only thing is you have to understand that basic principle. You can understand it by doing writing that in a piece of paper and trying to understand by yourself about how exactly it is working. Okay, so let us take one more example. So let us multiply 10 by 7. So 1, 0, 1, 0, 10 divided by 5. 5, let us multiply by 5. 0, 1, 0, 1. We already know 10 into 5 is 50. So 50 is what we have to get. So 50 means it is 32 plus 8 plus 32 plus 8, 40, 44, 46, 47. So 32 plus 16 plus 2. So 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. 16 plus 2 is 18. 18 plus 32 is 50. So let us see how can we do this multiplication based on the logic whatever we discussed. So we will have two parameters mainly to see. One is the result which we will which we will initialize based on the maximum size which we are going to get. So this is 4 by 4. So the maximum value which we are going to get is 0 0 0 0 8 bits. So we are initializing that to 8 bits. Then we have the multiplicand. So the multiplicand also will be shifting 1 bits to the left depending on whether the multiplier corresponding bit is 1 1 or 0. It doesn't depend on the multiplier bit, but after taking each multiplier bit, we will shift the multiplicand 1 bit to the left. So after if the size of the multiplier is 4 bits, so after doing the operation 4 times, the multiplicand will be shifted by 4 bits to the left. So the multiplicand also will be we'll set the initial value as 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0. Now let us apply the logic. You have to understand this is the result which we have to get. So iteration 1. So what is the first bit of the multiplier? The lowest bit of the multiplier, it is equal to 1. So what we will do, result becomes result plus multiplicand, right? So this two will add, so it becomes 1 0 1 0. This is the new result along with the upper 4 bits. Then what will happen to the multiplicand? The multiplicand, after doing this thing, it will gets shifted by 1 bits to the left. So 1 comes here, 0 1 0 0 will be padded at the end. So 0 0 0. So this is the new multiplicand. Then the second operation, the value is 0. Let me write the multiplier bit also. So here the multiplier bit equals 1. Then we get the multiplier bit as 0. So there is no change to the result. So result remains the same, 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0. Then the multiplicand, irrespective of whether the multiplier is 1 or 0, it will be shifted 1 bits to the left. So this becomes 1 0 1 0 0 0. So this 1 comes here, this 0 goes here, 1 goes here, 0 goes here. Then this becomes 0 0. Then we'll get the third bit. The third bit of the multiplier is 1. So the third bit means it is from the right, the lowest bit. So the result will be the previous multiplicand plus the previous result. So this is 0 1 0. 1 plus 1 is 0. 1 comes here, 1 0 0. Then the multiplicand will be shifted 1 bits to the left. So it becomes 1 0 1. 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Then the last bit of the multiplier, which is 0. So no need to do any change in the result. So the result will remain the same, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Then the multiplicand will be shifted by 1 bits to the left. So it becomes 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So now if you see the result, we have 0011 0010. That is the result which corresponds to 50 in binary. So this is the value which we are getting. So the result. So if you see the multiplicand initially was equal to 1010, the lower position. It also got shifted by 4 bits to the left, which corresponds to the number of bits in the multiplier. So at the end, it got shifted by 4 bits to the left. Then the result, we got the value of the multiplied operation. So this is the logic again, once again explained using the example. So what we are doing, we'll take one bit of the multiplier starting from the LSB at a time. Then if that bit is 1, we will add the current multiplicand with the current result. So result will be, we will get a new result. Then the multiplicand will be shifted 1 bits to the left. We'll decrement the count. So count means the number, the size of the multiplier bits. Will decrement the count. If count is not equal to 0, repeat the process. So this is the basic logic of multiplication by shift and add. So let us let us try to write the program. So I have mentioned the logic. Okay. So this one we are going to implement in 8 bits. That is what you have to understand. The same logic, whatever we discussed for 4 bits, that will be expanding to 8 bits. That is what we are going to do in this program. So like we have already done, we will be defining the input. So in this case, we have two 8-bit numbers. One is the multiplicand, the other is the multiplier. Then the next subsequent locations we are allotting for saving the result, which will be 8 by 8. So it will be 16 bits. We will have 2 bytes. So we'll load the first the number multiplicand in A. So let us save it to one register. Move R0 comma A. So this is the register where we have the multiplicand. So multiplicand we have saved in R0. Then let's take the multiplier. So increment dptr. So again it's through accumulator. So move x a comma dptr. Let's move it to R1. Move R1 comma A. So multiplier in A, sorry, in R1. Then we need to have the count. So how many times this has to be done. So move R2 comma hash 08, since it is 8 bits. So this 8 bits corresponds to our movement, the number of bits in the multiplier. So that is why we have taken the count. Now let us, our result has to be initialized. So let us initialize the result to be maybe R3 to be lower byte of result, and R4 to be higher byte of the result. Then we, as per the logic, when we are shifting the multiplicand, it also will get shifted that many bits to the left. So that many bits means the number of bits in the multiplier, that many bits to the left. So we need to allot one more register for the multiplicand. So multiplicand is in R0. So let's allot R5. So R5 comma hash 00. So the shifted multiplicand to the left. So now you have to understand, here I will write the explanation. So our result will be denoted by the, will be taken by the registers R4, R3, R4 for the higher byte, R3 for the lower byte. Then our multiplicand will be in the registers R5 and R0. Okay, like this, if you write, it will be easy for you to remember. Multiplier is in the register R1. Okay, and count of how many times we have to shift and do this operation is in the register R2. Okay. So we got that thing. So now let us do the operation. What is the first operation? We have to take the rightmost bit of the multiplier. We have to rotate the rightmost. We have to take the rightmost bit of the multiplier and do this operation. So the instruction which involves, so the multiplier we have to take one bit at a time. So that instruction which is going to take one bit at a time corresponds to rotate right. Okay, rotate right means RRA means rotate one bit from the rightmost position of the accumulator. Uh, uh, Accumulator, that rightmost bit, 0th bit will go to 7th bit, and each of the bits will be rotated one bit to the right. Whereas RRC comma space A means the rightmost bit will come to the carry, then the carry will go to the leftmost bit. Similar is the case with RL space A and RLC space A. So I'll just show you the example about how it is working. So suppose we have accumulator equals say 85. That means this is equal to 1000010185. If I do RL space A, that means this bit will come to this position and rest of the bits will be shifted one bits to the left. That means the new value of the accumulator is 00001011. Okay. If it is RR space A, that means the reverse will happen. So from the rightmost it will come to the left, so it becomes 11000010. So this is RR space A. Now you have two other variations, which is RLC space A. RLC space A means the leftmost bit will come to the carry. So that means it is the rest of the bits are going to be rotated by one bit to the left. So 00000101. This position I am not writing. So the previous carry, the leftmost bit will come to the carry. So here I have a carry. So this will be populated with this leftmost bit, which will be equal to 1, and the previous carry. So carry in the previous instant, that will come here. So if that carry equals 0, that 0 will come here. If that equals 1, that will that carry of 1 will come there. Now if the next instruction, corresponding instruction is RRC space A. So what will happen is the rightmost bit will come to the carry and the carry will go to the leftmost position. So how exactly it will work? I can write here like carry of n minus 1, that will come here. Then the bits will be shifted to the right. So it becomes 100, so 4 bits. Then 0010, and the rightmost 1 will come to the carry. So carry will become 1. So that is what is happening. So this is the basics of the 4 instruction. You can Google it and find it out if you are still not clear. So in this, no flags are affected. That is the main thing. No flags. But in RLC and RRC, carry flag will be affected. Okay, so again let us come back to the program. So what we have to do, we have to take one bit from the multiplier. That is the first thing. We have to take one bit from the multiplier and we have to check for that bit. That is what we need to do. So since RR doesn't take affect any flags, the operation which we have to do is RRC space A. So what we are going to do, take one bit from the multiplier. So that one bit means take one bit from the LSB, lowest significant bit of the multiplier. So that is what this is happening. So we have to move the multiplier to A. That is the another thing. So multiplier is in where? R1. So move A comma R1. Multiplier is moved to R1. So we are seeing the rightmost bit of the multiplier. We are checking what is happening. So if that one bit is, if there is no carry, go to the label shift multiplicand. So if there is a carry, the logic we have to think, if there is a carry, we have to add the result with the current multiplicand. So how you will add the result? Add the result is in R3 and R0. So you have to add R3 and R0. So but addition always involves accumulator. So you cannot simply add it. So what you have to do, move A comma R3, the lower byte of the result, move to A, Then you are going to add that a with the multiplicand, the current multiplicand, which is r0. So lower byte addition over. Then you have to move it back because the result is in r3 r4. So move r3 comma a, lower byte of result moved back to r3. Then what we will do, again do the same procedure, move a comma r4. So higher byte of result move to a because addition always involves accumulator. Now here you have to use add c a comma r5, which is the multiplicand higher byte. Why? Because already we have seen in the case of addition of a series of 8-bit numbers, after adding, if the when you are adding the lowest bytes, okay, so you need not add with carry because that doesn't make any significance. The carry will come only after performing one addition. After that only the carry will come up. So the first addition, there won't be any carry which we are going to take. See, that is the same thing which is happening here. I have already explained this a number of times. The lower byte addition, you need not take into account the carry. But if there is a carry coming out of that lower byte, you have to add it to the higher byte. That is what we are doing here. So R4 and R5 is going to be added. So R4 we move to A. So R4 plus R5 plus carry from the lower byte, that will be added here. So higher byte. So higher byte addition over. Now we have to again move this back to the result register. So move R5 comma A. So moving the higher byte of result moved back to R5. So we got that. So the addition part is over as per our logic. Now the shifting part is there. So what we will do, we have to shift multiplicand 1 bits to the left. So it is shifting to the left. So the instruction which we have to use is either RL or RLC. But how, when we were doing that shifting, how what we saw that the multiplicand zeros were padded to the right. That is what we saw. So but in the case of RL, the leftmost bit will come to the rightmost bit. So what we'll do, so you have to clear the carry. So clear carry flag for padding zeros at the rightmost bit of the multiplicand. Then what we'll do, we have to move one bit to the left. So multiplicand should get populated where R5 and R0. We have R0 now. So what we will do, so we will move A with R0, lower byte of multiplicand in A. Then we will RLC A. So the leftmost bit of multiplicand will come in A. Sorry, will come in carry flag. Now we have to move it to the so we got the leftmost bit in carry flag and the rightmost bit is populated with 0. Now we have to move this carry flag to the R5 position. So we got that RLC A is rotated. So we got the rightmost bit padded with 0 in A. So move it back. Move R0 comma A. So move lower byte shifted multiplicand back to R0, which is our multiplicand already, the lower byte. Then R5 has to be populated with the leftmost bit from R0. So that leftmost bit we already have in carry. So what we'll do, move A comma R5, shifting of the higher byte of the multiplicand. Then what we'll do here, we have to do again RLC space A. So the carry will come to the leftmost position. That carry corresponds to the leftmost bit from the from R0. That is what it is coming over there. So we got that. the higher byte. I'll just explain in a moment. So for the time being, you just try to follow whatever I am writing. Then we'll move that to back to R5. So move R5 comma A, higher shifting of the, so move uh, higher byte shifted multiplicand back to R5. So I'm just going to explain what this instruction does. Okay, this many instructions. That is what I'm going to explain to you right now. So the multiplicand we have in R5 and R0, you have to work it out yourself. You may not be able to understand clearly if you are simply listening to me. You can listen, you can pause, and then you can try to work it out. Then only it will be clear to you. So this multiplicand is already in R5 and R0. Now what we want exactly is, so suppose we have a multiplicand, 8-bit multiplicand, say in our case it was CD, right? CD was the initial multiplicand. So this CD corresponds to what? 1100, then 1101. This was CD. And what is the higher byte of the multiplicand initially? 00000000. This was the higher byte. But after, based on our logic, whatever we explained, after performing the operation, the multiplicand, the original multiplicand will come to the higher byte, and the lower position will be filled with zeros. That is what we saw, one bit at a time. So after the first operation, that is after checking the lowest bit of the multiplier, one bit of the multiplicand has to be shifted to the left. This is what we want to do. That means what? It will be like, after doing the operation, it will be like 0000000001, then 1001, 1010. You have to work it out yourself. What is happening is, this one will come here. That is what this is. The rest of the bits, 1001 will come here. Then 101 along with a 0 will come here. So shifting one bit to the left. But how can we do this? Okay, because both are in two separate registers. That logic is what we have done initially. Is what I have shown earlier. So what we'll do, this is in R0, that we already know initially. This is in R5. So initially both are zeros. So we will load A with R0 because rotation always involves A. Now we have to rotate this. The rightmost bit has to be padded with a 0. So if I use RL space A, the rightmost bit will be populated with the leftmost bit from A. So that is what will happen. So the instruction which I have to use is RLC space A. So what will happen? Carry will be populated to the leftmost position, but that carry has to be equal to what? While padding the zeros, it has to be 0. That is why clear carry. So carry is cleared, accumulator is loaded with R0, which is this value. Then we are rotating RLC by A, so the carry will go to the rightmost bit. So we got that padded with 0, and this leftmost bit, this 1, is now in our carry flag. So you have to understand, the leftmost bit will go to carry flag. Now we have this leftmost bit in carry flag, which I have to move it to the lowermost, this position of R5. Okay. So now the lower byte multiplicand result, which is correct, which is 1001, 1010, that is there in A. So I will move that back to our original multiplicand, shifted multiplicand. We moved it back. Now we have to populate the one bit, that one bit which we have in carry, which we got from the higher byte of the multiplicand, to the, not higher byte, lower byte of the multiplicand, to the higher byte of the multiplicand. So what we will do for that? We'll again move A comma R5. So this 0, this initial, that 00 will come to A. Then we'll do a rotate left RLC A. So what will happen? This leftmost bit will go to carry, which is 0. So carry will become 0. This 0 will go to the carry, and the carry will come to the rightmost bit. Okay. So what is the carry? The one from the previous operation. So that carry will come to the rightmost bit. So once we do that, we will again move that back to R5. So in effect, what we have achieved, we have moved this leftmost one bit from the which was in a separate register to the next higher register, next the higher bit of the register R5. So we have moved it. That is what we have achieved here. So this operation corresponds to shifting the multiplicand one bit to the left. So that is what we have achieved. That is what that instruction does. That set of instruction does. So once this shifting operation is over, when the higher byte, when we have shifted back, when we have shifted the multiplicand, what we have to do? We have to decrement the count. The count is in which register which we have saved. The count is in R2 for 8 bits. If it is 16, that means we'll be moving that with 10, that is 16. So DJNC R2 comma continue. So where will we continue? So again, we'll take one bit from the multiplier. So this is continue. Again, we'll take the rightmost bit from the multiplier. We will check whether there is a carry. We'll rotate it. We'll see whether there is a carry. One instruction we missed here. So whenever you are doing this rotation, addition, everything, that is through accumulator, but you have to move it back. Otherwise, you won't get the original whatever you want to achieve, because A will get overwritten, because all the operation, most of the operation involves A, the arithmetic operations. So once you do something with A, you have to move it back to the corresponding registers or memory location, whatever you have used. So move R1 comma A. So this means moving back the shifted multiplier. Then if there is no carry, you have to only shift the multiplicand. So where that shifting multiplicand label comes? Here. So shifting multiplicand comes here. So if there is a carry, that means right, that bit, corresponding bit whatever we are seeing is 1. So we'll again move the lower byte. We'll add with the higher byte the shifted multiplicand, shifted multiplicand and the result. Then we'll move that back to R3. Then we'll move the higher byte of the result into A. Then we'll add with carry that higher byte. We'll move it back. After that, irrespective of whether the multiplier bit is 1 or 0, you have to shift the multiplicand. So that is performed. So once you do this operation, we'll have the result where in R3 and R4. So we'll increment DPTR, then move A comma R3, I think. So R3 is the lower byte, right? Yes. So move A comma R3, then move X at DPTR comma A, then increment DPTR, for saving the next thing. Move A comma R4, move X at DPTR comma A, move X at DPTR comma A. Then we'll stop the program here. Let's jump to here. End of the program. So the program is finished. Okay. So this is what the logic for shifting multiplication by shift and add. So I have used the registers R3 and R4 here. Rather than that, it would be always better to specify an internal memory location. Okay, because you may not have always registers to process, but you have a large number of memory space. So instead of this R3 and R4, what you can do is you can point to a direct memory address, say from one of the register banks. So the result you can have in direct memory addresses, say the register bank from 00 to 07 is R1, from 08 to 08 to 0F. So that corresponds to register bank 2. So you can have from 10, maybe you can say like 11 location and 12 location. Sorry, 11 location and 10 location is where your result is going to be saved. So instead of R4 and R3, you can have 11 and 10. What is the advantage? If you are going to do for a 16 by 16 multiplication, you need to have 32 bits result. So you can point like 13, 12, 11, 10 are my this one, the result locations instead of the registers. And multiplicand you can have, in this case you can have the multiplicand say 20, 21, 20. If it is 16 by 16 multiplication, you can have say 23, 22, 21 and 20. So your program you can rewrite by changing these registers to direct memory addresses and then do. So during the doubt clearing session, whatever doubt you have, you can ask me. But my request is, please ensure that you are working out yourself. Okay, don't simply try to listen and then try to copy the program. There is no point. Understand the logic. Only the initial part, when I explain the logic, that is enough. Then you try to write by yourself. That logic should come to your mind when you are writing the instruction. Then you, if you are having any doubts, you can refer to the program whatever I said. Then that is how you will understand this logic. Okay, thank you.